Feels like love. Cupid made a shot.
Watch it if you watch it. Don't watch it if you don't want to watch it. That's really up to you. It's just my own little baby life update. Hey guys, how's everybody doing? So today's video, well, it's not even a today's video vibe. It's just, I kind of wanted to say some stuff and I don't think I really want to put it in a like nail content video because it just would make that video weird, if that makes sense. So I want to just talk a little bit about me. A little bit of my background story, just a little like me, life update, a little bit about me if you don't know me. If you're new to my channel and you haven't been following me for years, and also maybe even if you have been following me for years and it's just a little backstory, you guys only know me from being on YouTube, right? And in all truth, I just wasn't a social media person prior. I really wasn't. I did Facebook and that was post a picture of me when you feel cute every now and again, not that crazy. Instagram, all that. I created that when I started Blue Rose. So I really was just not a social media girl. And truthfully, you guys know me. I'm still not really. I'm trying to get better, but it's not a natural vibe for me, right? So I wanted to just talk to you guys a little bit about like my weight loss lately and just a little bit of like a life update for anybody that is just wondering or concerned. I really hope and I thank you so much for everybody being concerned, but there's nothing to be concerned about. It's just choices in life, and the reality of it is me being me being as big as I was last year. That was the unhealthy thing, not me trying to get back to what my body weight should be. So with that being said, I thought I'd just give like a little bit of a backstory, and I just have to get ready for my day because I have so much filming today. I want to do behind the scenes. We have a Temu orders, but I want to show you guys how I double camera film, so I'm going to be filming behind the scenes. So normally when I won't be filming, I'm going to be filming to show you guys what I'm filming. It's going to be like just a full all day camera in my face type of vibe. So I want to get my day going. It's 10:10 right now. I do want to give you a little bit of backstory for anybody who cares, and that's really it, right? And this little pimple right here, I got it, oh my god, I had some like older face cream that I had, and I was like, oh, let me try this, and I don't even know why I would ever try it. It's like I was using it and then I stopped using it, and it just like broke me out. It gave me like 3 good little pimples. They all went away, but this one was like a good under one, and it's still like just there living its life. I got those pimple patches. I feel like they work when I remember to put them on. Am I still supposed to wear them? Like even now it's like almost scarred. Ugh, stupid. Let's talk a little bit about crystals, shall we? You guys know me. I have started my YouTube channel in 2021 October, so just at the scuff of the end of the year. So I've been doing it just over 2 years now. So from that, you guys have seen me, I would say, as a bit of a bigger girl. Now I'm 5'6", so I'm not like a short girl, but I think I'm pretty average for a girl's height, and I've always been in like an athletic build. Not to say I'm like, you know, like buffed up athletic, but put like this, I want to kind of explain this so you get a little background story. Growing up, I was like a country girl, so meaning my parents always lived more in the countries, like countrysides or smaller towns. Now I live in the city now, and I'm 1,000,000% a city girl. I've always been a city girl, even at heart, I believe, back then. But don't get me wrong, I can country down with the best of them. But I just prefer the city life now anyways. So, but growing up in smaller towns, countrysides here in Canada, Ontario, how we got around, our parents weren't driving us around. They weren't taking us to friends' house. And when we grew up, in my age growing up, I don't know, I'm not ready to tell y'all my age. Are you guys that curious? I want to know in the comments, how old do you guys think I am? I always say I'm not going to age over 26. My birthday just passed March 30th. And if you know my age, like if you're a relative, don't give it away to everybody. I ain't ready yet. Not that I'm like saying about my age. I'm so proud of my age, and I only ever want to get older. I do not, you know me, I don't like the alternative. But me and God, we have a beautiful plan that I want to stay looking 26 forever. So anyways, that's me and good Lord's little thing we got going on. But anyways, growing up in my day, I don't know, I think parenting was a little different. I think it's a little different, especially if you're in like more country. So our parents just like, oh, you're going to your friend's house, you're going to your friend's house. Like, it's not that crazy. They weren't really on you like that, nor were they why I say they weren't on you like that is because they're not driving you right to your friend's house, picking you up, making sure like you're good, you're safe, your thing. They know where you are, you're good, right? Like, it's a small town, everybody knows everybody for the most part, so there's a good chance somebody on the street knows like your uncle, your aunt, your mom. And that's kind of like how it was more where I was like younger type of vibes. We had a lot of family and everything around, so we were safe, don't get me wrong, but kids were just, we roamed a little bit more free, I guess. So how we roamed in my day was bikes. We rode bikes everywhere. So if you know, you know, if you ride a bike all the time, and I mean like legitly everywhere we go, hours. And when you live in smaller towns, it's not a 20-minute bike, or it's not like a 5-minute bike ride down the street. It's like a 45-minute bike ride to get your friend's house or to get into town. I remember we used to always go to my aunt. She used to work in town at the convenience store there. It was actually her side job. She really worked at like the township of the town, but she used to work at the little convenience store, which was amazing for us. So every summer when I used to go there, we literally from her house would ride bikes to get into town to get treats, because of course my aunt's gonna give you treats. So we used to go like ride bikes all the time. That bike ride was legit an hour. Like, I can't even think it would be less than an hour. It probably could have been more. I don't think you really realize it when you're a kid, but guys, we used to ride our bikes, I mean literally everywhere. These are, my dad is a taller guy, my mom's a shorty. I got like the lengthiness from my dad. So I got like the long lengthiness, and by being athletic or by riding your bike all the time and just being outside to get around, like that's what keeps the athleticness in you, is because you're always doing stuff, you're moving and shaking to get around. Like, I didn't grow up sitting playing video games in the house all the time. We were outside kids, so always outside. Any chance you get, the weather's good, the weather's bad, we're outside. And because we live in a smaller towns, riding bikes is how we got around. Like, that's our car, right? Like, our parents weren't driving us to our friend's house. They were like, you want to go, you better get away there, type of vibe, you know what I mean? So from young, I've always had that athletic type of like slender build, and I've always had that going into 1920s. I would say 21, 22, I gained like my baby weight. I have like a little picture of me and my mom is like, I gained, like, I got chubby for like literally, I feel like it's not even like 6 months, a year. I don't even remember how long, but it wasn't long. Pardon me. And then I slimmed right back down to like kind of what I am now, in all truth. Pardon me. Fast forward years, I would say I've always kept the shape. My shape has always kind of been the same. I was never a big girl, never had ass, got a little bubble butt. Be putting on weight. I loved my tush, my legs, my thighs, everything got thicker. But that was never me. I don't know. I always say when God sculpted me, I think he ran out of clay right there on the hip side, because he just never gave me no hips. But also in my generation, I feel like, no disrespect, but white girls didn't have ass. In my generation, it's like this only happened in like late 90s, 2000 babies. We don't know what happened in the water, but it just, white girls started getting some tush. But it just wasn't as much in my generation, and I don't know, if you know, you know, this is what it is. I'm not trying to be rude or nothing. I fall on the slender tush side anyways of it. So, and the point of all that is like, it's just like your body type, right? So let's fast forward years. I moved to the city when I was younger. I actually moved out here when I was 19. So I've lived in the city a long time. Again, I'm not going age yet. One day I'll tell you guys. It's not that crazy though. And anyways, so I've lived in the city quite some time, and I would say I still kept my shape. I was still very active. Obviously I didn't walk in that as much. You get cars and stuff as you get older, but I would say I still kept that shape. I was still very active in what I do. I've worked for myself legitly since I've been 19 years old. I had some regular jobs when I was like from 16 to 19, like at McDonald's, Tim Hortons, all those type of vibes. And that was just never for me. I just did and don't like working for somebody else. I want to be my own boss, and I've made to be my own boss, and I will continue to be my own boss. So, and I get it, that's not for everybody, because trust me, it's a lot more work having to do all the work of what you think a boss does. Oh, you go to work, they tell you what to do, you do. Well, when you're the boss, you gotta create the work, find the work, all of it, right? So it's not for everybody, and I'm not saying that, like, you know, this makes me any way or any different, but Those are the choices that I made in life. So by that, I would say like, oh God, I don't even know. Yeah, 19 at least. I would say 19, I moved up here. So I've been having my cleaning business even before that. Actually, I had my cleaning business when I was like 17, 18. I started cleaning houses on the side, and I was like, wow, I can make pretty decent money doing this and work for my own self. So hey, why not do that in life? Right? That's what I thought. So I did that for many, many years, and I still do it. I still have my cleaning business, and I still have clients that I do. But okay, little backwards. Let's just stop there. Cleaning business. So growing up, and this is nothing to my parents. It's perfectly, we all make choices, perfectly fine. It happens how it happens. I love you guys and I don't mean nothing by it, but I have to tell this little piece of backstory because it might make sense. So growing up, my parents, heck, their parents, I don't think my grandma, but my grandpa, for sure, I know my grandpa. I'm pretty sure my grandma actually never smoked though, but my grandpa, so smoked, right? Cigarettes. So growing up, I think my family, I would say not all, like my aunt never smoked. But there is, majority, I want to say, majority of my family were smokers. So I grew up around cigarettes. Like I said, my mom smoked, my dad smoked, my grandpa smoked, and I was really close with my grandpa and my nana. Oh, I love her so much. I miss her. And my grandpa, he was a hard one, bless his soul too. I love him so much. They're up there together now, probably fighting. She's telling him some things. No. But anyways, so growing up, like my grandpa smoked. I think my nana smoked too, to be honest, but not my grandmother. My grandma and grandpa, my mom's parents, they were never together. I'd never known them together, but my grandpa was always with my nana. So I call her nana and I don't call her my grandma, right? So my nana, rest her, as well as my grandmother, rest her. So all three have passed now. My grandma was the latest who passed a couple years back now. Oh my God, where does time go? Oh, that gives me goosebumps, guys. Yeah, so anyways, my nana and my grandpa smoked, so I was around cigarettes when I was young. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to, like, nobody come for anybody's parents. It is what it is, right? So I think, and I'm not putting any blame. I feel we all make choices in life, and you shouldn't blame anybody for your choices, regardless of what you think. So I ended up smoking as I got older. So I think I probably had like my first cigarette when I was like, honestly, I think I moved to Lindsay. So what was that, like 14 maybe? 14-ish? Let's say that. Maybe younger, I dabbled. But I would say by 16, like I fully smoked. Like when you like buy cigarettes, not literally me buying it, but obviously you get people to buy you cigarettes, like you have your brand, and it's terrible. I don't recommend it. It's the most disgusting habit and it stinks. Don't do it. And it ruins your teeth. It just ruins everything on you. It's not a good habit. Do not do it, guys. If you could just avoid it, just avoid it. Anyways, so I would say by 16, I was probably like a full smoker. And I continued to smoke. Until about 2018. I think I was doing the math last night and I was trying to figure it out so I could tell you guys properly. I think it was out 2018. Now, a little story on that is my mom actually quit smoking, I think like a year or so prior to when I quit smoking, and I witnessed her quit smoking, and I was so proud, and I am so proud of her. And I was just like, I have that, like, you can do it, I can do it. And it is. When I moved up here and the people I surrounded, like, they don't smoke cigarettes, they don't do any of that, so nobody in my house smokes, you know, my partner doesn't smoke. So it was just kind of, it was about time. Like, I was like, girl, there's nothing to this disgusting habit, it stinks. And like, I never smoked in my house either. Like, that's another thing I want to tell you guys, even from young. And I had my own first apartment, I think when I was like 17, 18. I don't know, it's weird. I moved fast when I was young. Anyways, I never smoked in my house. I always thought it was disgusting. So when I moved up here, like, that was a big thing. So from 19 years old, I've never smoked in my house. Probably I did when I was like 16, 17, I think. Probably those ages I did. Who knows. But when I moved up here, I made different life choices. It was different. I had nobody when I moved to the city. I moved to the city by myself, away from I don't want to say away from like my parents and that, but even my mom, she doesn't live in the city. She's an hour and a half away from me, and she's always kind of been that distance, I would say, because she's more of a country girl. And I just wanted out. I was like, there's nothing in the country for me. It's just not my vibe. Like, deuces, right? So I wanted to try something different, and I said, F it. Like, if I'm not gonna do it for myself, nobody's gonna do it for me. So I made the decision to move up to the city. And from there, I got my first apartment up here, and I never smoked in it. So I think that's where I want to say I've never smoked in my apartment from like the time I chose to make choices in life, right? So I think that was a big choice for you to choose to move to a whole new city by yourself and just try a different life and figure out what you want in life. Which I don't regret. I'm still here. I'm a city girl. Anyways, so I moved up to the city, and yeah, so that was that. I've lived up here for ever since, right? But I would say, again, let's go back to like 2000 and, or sorry, not 2008. I think it was like 18, I think I quit smoking. So a little bit before that, I think a year, at least a year, I believe, before my mom, I think, quit before me, maybe 2 years, but I think at least a year. So she quit, and I was like, hey, that's something. It really, like I said, a lot of the things aligned at the time for me to quit smoking. There just wasn't doing anything for me in my life. Everybody I was around me, like partner and all that, never smoked. And I never smoked in my house, and I always thought it was disgusting. But it's a habit. By then, you're addicted to the stupid thing, and then you just want it, right? So, but anyways, my mom did this, like, and how she quit smoking, I think it was actually a cool way. It's like, oh my god, I forgot how it was. But so you went in this, like, was it hypnosis or something? I don't know if it was really hypnosis, but anyways, I remember sitting in the chair with a lady, and you just go over calming music, and she's talking to you and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, this is the truth, and I'm going to keep it real. I had a smoke before I went into the session of wanting to quit, and then there was some vitamin. She gave us vitamin C, what was that, tartan or something like that? There was another like couple vitamins that she suggested that you take after doing this, and it was just vitamins. It's something you can get up from over your counter, but it was included in like the price of the package or whatever. And then you get a CD at the time. You get a CD even to help you to go back and like try to help calm you and do stuff like that, right? So she did that, and it worked for her. She quit, and I was like, of course we're all skeptic in life, but again, the biggest thing that you have to want in life is you have to want it. So my point of it was, I had a smoke before I went into this thing, and when I walked out, I said, because my mom, she went with me, and it was down by her. I said to her, like, I don't feel any different. I feel like if I wanted to smoke, I could have a smoke. Like, well, was I supposed to do something? And she said, Crystal, you said you want to quit smoking. And I was like, yeah. She's like, that's it. Like, you have to want it, right? And from that point, that's what clicked it. It doesn't matter what you think you could do or whatever. It's taking the steps to want to do it. So I was like, yeah, it's done. So from that point, I never smoked. I never went back to it. It was definitely a hard thing, but a lot of things changed. I feel like your taste buds do change. All these things changed. Now, there's where my love of avocados went. I never liked avocados but when I smoked. After smoking, I love me an avocado. Right? So the point of it is, I quit smoking. Let's say 18. I'm going to say 18 because, like I said, when I did my math last night, it was 18. But it was like September because, I don't know, I have this weird thing. I do my goals in September, apparently. Because when I did something the year after, it was September. So I feel like September is like a big year for me to, it's my motivation to change myself. I feel. I gotta get ready though and not talk so much because I don't want to be, I have to get ready to work today. Okay, so anyways, okay, 2018, I quit smoking. In that time, yeah, I definitely put on a little weight. I got a little thicker. Again, I was always a pretty lanky type of girl. I was never like a bigger girl. Like, I was kind of like the athletic body because I always was cardio, guys. I literally rode my bike everywhere when I was young, and that like followed me. And realistically, in my family genes, that's how my dad is. My dad is a tall, like lanky type of guy, and I do take after my dad. My mom is a shorty. If I look at my aunts and everybody, they're not bigger, like they're not bigger girls. They're all pretty slender. As well as my mom, and I think it did. When she quit smoking, I think she almost like went for the food dependency a little bit, and like that's how she tried to like again, you keep, when you're a smoker, I think you keep your hands busy, right? Like you're used to picking up a smoke or something. So I think what a lot of people do, like myself included, is you picking up something else. So you're picking up the snacks, or you're picking up something to try to keep yourself occupied. Even the lady, when we did the thing, she gave us the stir sticks for coffee. She gave me a whole whack of them, and she's like, trust me, chew on them. And I did. I used to chew on these little stir sticks for coffee, and it used to help. And I think that also helped distracted yourself when you pick up the smokes, right? It's like my family genes, and I do really take after my dad when it comes to like my height and like my lengthiness, and I look like the guy. You know what I mean? So I definitely get more after that. So 2018, I quit smoking about February-ish of 2018. And that's when I went on a cruise. I went on a Caribbean cruise. But on that cruise, anybody that's ever gone on a cruise, was it just me? Like I definitely gained like at least 10 pounds on that cruise. I ate, and I think also again, I quit smoking very like soon. We went on the cruise in February, I think. I quit smoking in September. So when we went on the cruise, they have beautiful dinners and all these things. And on the cruise that we went on, every dinner that you go to is different. So it's like you can't get the same thing the next day. And it's not nothing crazy, but you can order more than one thing. And then they used to have all these beautiful, like, just crazy, like, dishes. I was like, oh my God, I want to try that. It just seems like unique. And obviously you pay all this money and you're like, you want to be fancy and just try all this different food. And I enjoy to try different food. Like, love the Food Network and all that. So I was like, ooh, look at all these things. And let's be fancy. So I think I definitely overate on that cruise, because after the cruise, you felt a little thickums after that. I'm just gonna say that. So I think I gained a little bit of weight there too, but nothing to say I was like bigger. I was actually filling out a little. I was getting a little thicker thighs and a little bit of a bum, and I was like, ooh, I like it, right? But when you start to slowly put weight, and I think especially as somebody like myself that was very slender and like the more athletic and, you know, type of body, when you start getting a little thicker, it's nice. It's like, ooh, I got a little ass now, my thighs are nice. Like I liked all of that. But what happens is everything else starts to balloon up too. And then 2020 COVID hit. So that really put a damper in my business. I couldn't work really, right? So I was home more. There was not really much I could do. I still had a few clients that they were fine and safe with me coming in. So I still had some work, obviously enough to maintain and live, but I wasn't as active. None of us were really going outside. An outing was like, put your mask on and go to the grocery store. It just, you know what I mean? Like it just was such a chill vibe life. I was already kind of already gained a little bit of weight from like the quitting smoking and just being more still. That's all you're doing. You're just kind of there. You're not doing much. And even in this time, I was having this like thing in my head, like saying to my partner, like, what am I going to do with my life? What am I doing? Like, yeah, I have my cleaning business and that's fine, but I'm not passionate about scrubbing shit. I'm passionate about making money. Don't get me wrong. That's why I own my own business and I hustle, but I do what I got to do. But I felt like I was missing something, and I just didn't know what it was in life. I just did not know what it was. I was so, what am I doing? Like I'm getting to an age of life. What am I doing with my life? That's how I felt. And I've always got my nails done. I don't know if you guys, I know it's weird to now jump into the nail thing. Always got my nails done because of this finger. No, I'm not giving you the finger, but that finger grows weird, and I'm self-conscious about it. I don't like it. It's weird, but I've always been like that, probably because it's a disformed fingernail. But I never thought of doing nails. I was, right? Like, you just go get your nails done. Like, I just never thought of that. And I don't find myself to be like an artistic person. I found the love to do my own nails, 2021, beginning of 2021. Again, COVID, everything shut down, and I was like, this is annoying. So I used to just go buy Kiss press-ons, that you could paint yourself, and I would go to the Dollarama and buy regular nail polish. I didn't even know what gel nail polish was at the time. My first experience with gel nail polish, I bought it off Shein, and I was wondering why it never dried. I was like, why are you not drying? Like, never knew, like, the light, never knew none of that. That was actually my first experience with gel polish. I never told them about that. But that being said, I started tinkering with the nail idea, and then I started watching Kirsty, and I just was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. And I only ever really knew of acrylic, so I started with acrylic, and I practiced and I learned it, and I taught myself. I did online classes. I did all that. I was so like, I found what I enjoy. I was so happy. I was like, I couldn't believe how much I enjoyed nails and all what it was, and just, you know, the anatomy behind it. I was like, whoa, what is this? Okay, and at that time, I taught myself up until, pardon me, I want to say like March or so. It wasn't that long until I realized, I'd have the hiccups all of a sudden. Until I realized, like, where I was living in that, like, I just couldn't do the monomer smell. The monomer was too strong in the house, and it was just too much. So I couldn't do the monomer anymore. And then I felt lost again. I was like, oh my God, like, I thought I found my calling. I thought I could just, like, become a nail tech. And this, I didn't even think of YouTube at that time, guys, when I was practicing nails at the very beginning. I didn't. I was like, how am I ever going to do this? Like, I can't do acrylic in the house. How am I going to practice? And it was just a whole thing. So I almost was, like, mentally a little down and out for a minute, until I was like, F that, like, there has to be a will, there's a way. Like, so I started looking into more nail stuff and actually deterring and opening up my horizon to different products. And then I discovered gels. Gels have no smell. That was my holy grail. I was like, I can do this. I can do this in my house and it doesn't affect anybody. There's no odors, there's no nothing. And then that's it. I was like, let's go. Let's learn gel. And at the time of doing this, like I said, I used to watch Christy Meakin. I watched Talia's Nail Studio. And then I watched a lot of other girls that were doing hauls. Jess is one of them. She does hauls. I love her channel. It's just called Jess. I'll put it somewhere. I used to watch her hauls, and there was another Danny. I used to watch her hauls. I swear those two women, they sound alike too. Sometimes I'd watch them and I'd be like, it's the same girl. They're not. But anyways, I used to watch her hauls. And then Nails Ultima, I used to watch her hauls. And I was like, well, I have to buy stuff to learn. I was like, well, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could just, you know, do YouTube. I don't know. That's what I thought. So when I went into it, I was like, okay, I can do this. And that's how my YouTube journey started, to be honest. 2021, when I started my YouTube channel. By then, in all truth, I was already probably like 30 pounds overweight. Realistically, I was already like bigger. And I guess I just kept just letting it happen. And another thing is going to sound really weird, and I don't know if this is a good or a bad thing, but like I never seen myself big. Like in my head, like I'm still the little baddie I've always been. And it didn't matter if I was chubby or nothing, like it just didn't. But when you start seeing yourself, and I mean by that is when I start putting my clothes on. All these things, like my clothes just had to get bigger and bigger and bigger until a point of like I'm an extra large and it's still a little tight at some points. And my arms, oh my God, my arms blew up. Like they're so big. It's like a freaking football player. Like, what the heck? It's weird. And I just was so uncomfortable. So what do when you bigger? I just went bigger clothes. So I used to buy oversized stuff. And it's at the moment, if it's not overly bothering you. And I think what I was doing is I was distracted as well. Like I was in a stage of what am I doing with my life? I'm focusing on what I want in my life, not about how I look in my life, right? And not realizing that is so important to your own self. So when I was doing that, I don't know, I just didn't see the weight, guys. I really just didn't, in a sense. So when I got so focused and I was like, my business now, all my energy went into BR, and I wouldn't change it, and it still all goes into BR. I love what I do. I completely love my channel. I love every minute of it. But when I decided to do my channel, I decided that I want to do a channel. I took up all the greats that I seen, and I was like, that's awesome, but I want to be me still. I want to do me and be me. And I know I wanted to invite people into my life in a particular way, not just here, let's do nail stuff. It's here, let's do nail stuff with me. It's still chilling with me, and I've always had that vibe, and I've wanted that. Okay, so when I started my YouTube channel, you guys see me as a bit of a bigger girl. Perfectly fine, is what it is. I did my YouTube channel for a year. That year of the November, changing my locations of where I was living was a big thing for me when I first moved into this house. And I was stressed. Anybody that knows me and has been following me for a long time, they seen my channel kind of be a little ways, and we're all so grateful, or so gracious, like just to give me the time and understanding that, hey, the girl's going through some stuff, she's moving and all that. And I'm a big, like, I have to have my house is my home. I'm in it all the time. So it's a really big safe zone. It needs to be a particular way. Like, it needs to be together. I can't just start filming YouTube videos and care about my studio and not have my home, like, feel like my home is my safe zone, right? So that took time to do that. And I've always said, okay, and I knew I'm moving, and I was like, girl, I was getting over the weight, guys. Like, of course I'm mentally struggling with being a bigger girl now. So I had to make the choices of, okay, let's not eat the crap, but also the damage is done. The weight's on me. I have to put the work in to get it off, right? And I think the times that I was like, okay, I was ready, I'm getting ready into it, my house was situated. I think it was around this time last year when my house was about situated, about March, April. And March is always a busy month for me. It's my birthday month, so I always have family coming in. So I think after that I was like, okay, yes, like now I'm ready to get back into my YouTube and just get back into life. Like, let's get a routine. Let's start going down to that gym. Like, you're paying all this money for this freaking place. Let's use the amenities that's in it, right? So I needed and wanted to do all these things, and I was ready. I was like, I'm starting to feel like myself. I got settled into this home and I was like, yeah, let's go. Like, let me just be the best Crystal. And I'm a very positive person, guys. I think the biggest thing in life, like, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. And I truly, truly love myself. Like, I'm okay with myself. And I've said this to a lot of my friends and stuff. Like, you have to be content with yourself. Be happy with yourself before you can make anybody happy. And I mean that. Like, whether it be your kids, your mom, your dad, your partner, whatever it is, you can't be great for you can't be great for other people if you're not being great for yourself. And I've always been like that. And I still was all very positive and all these things, but there was always this little thing in me that I don't like the weight on me. Remember, I'm telling you, when I tell you I don't see myself big, I mean, unless there's a mirror in front of me showing me my chubby self, guys, I never seen that. In my head, I never looked that way because I wasn't me. Last year, when I thought I was ready to, like, okay, I think the house is situated, my studio's set up, I was getting back into like get the filming and stuff, because again, just moving, it took me a couple months to get situated in here. I was kind of getting ready. In that time, now this is no excuse and it's nobody's thing, it's nothing, it's my own choice. Again, I make choices for myself and it's only me. In that time, last year, around this time, April or so, I chose to do something in my business life that took a lot of my time. It literally took so much of my time and distracted my time that it wasn't about figure Crystal, get Crystal back together, get Crystal in a routine, let me be my greatness, right? So when you allow things in life to distract you, you're not going to take the time to make the right choice. You're going to choose whatever's the most convenient. And the most times when that is, that's a takeout for me. Like, okay, grab me Timmy's, or, you know what I mean? I know I don't feel to cook, so let's just grab whatever. Those things over time will just keep me in the same position. So that's all I did. I just kept being and doing what I was doing. The few years prior to the smoking and the quitting smoking and all that, I was just like, oh, whatever, because I wasn't hard on myself for eating whatever I want after I quit smoking. I looked at it like, it's a little treat, it's a reward for you, it's okay. But the reality of it is, you have to check yourself in moderation. And it got to a point where I was just like, you're just doing it now. You're just grabbing the bad stuff. And I wasn't going to the gym. I wasn't taking advantage of the gym that's downstairs and all these things. So, or even working out in my home. I have an Oculus that I wasn't using. Like, 'cause I used to work out on that thing all the time. I love that thing. So again, I allowed the time to distract me a different way. So last summer, when I really wanted to get back to myself, I allowed myself to be distracted. Okay? That's fine. It is what it is. When I eliminated the distraction in my life at the time, it freed up space for me to focus my brain back on the importance in life. And I am the most important thing. Like, I have to be the most important thing. If I don't be great for myself, I can't be great for anybody else. I can't be great for you guys. I can't be great for my family. I can't be great for my mom. I want to be great for everybody, but I have to be great for me first. I got to do me. And that's not being that bigger girl. So it's oddly enough, but in September, and a quick little thing, last July, I actually tore my Achilles in my ankle. I had like a grade 3 high ankle sprain. It was the most painful thing ever. So I was very limited to what I could do. And it took about a month before I could even like really walk and like try to actually get like back. So basically July to August, my foot was like, it was my Achilles, right? No pun intended. So it was hard for me to actually work, but I was still trying to do a few things, trying to get back, and I already made choices to not eat the bad things. So from that time of my foot being down and out, and I was like, girl, like, you gotta stop doing this. Like, make the change. Like, that's, you just have to make the choices. So I chose not to pick up the bad food. I chose not to do those things. Now, I couldn't go really crazy working out at the time because I still wanted to be careful and not hurt my foot or my ankle any more than it was. Like, it's really crazy to not be able to walk. I was like, what the bejesus? So in that time, I still was very slowly working my way back up, making sure I did all my doctor's appointments, the therapy for my foot, all that. So it still took me a little bit of time, but once I got the okay that I was fine and my ankle was pretty much fully healed to a point of I can start putting pressure and I can put weight and all these different things on it, then I started really going and working out. And it's not even like I'm like, oh my God, I'm some gym person crazy. I literally do my little workout even in my living room. I do my Oculus, but I'm doing something. And for me, I realized working out is important for me, but my biggest thing for me and my weight loss, because we're all different, our bodies are different, is I can't eat what I want. I just can't. I can probably eat a little bit of what I want in moderation, but I can't eat a donut 3 times a week. I can't eat carbs and all these different big things and portions. I used to have such big portions. So smaller my portions down. You know what I mean? Eat more frequently. That's what I've been doing to actually help me, is eating more but smaller portions and just healthier choices. So to be honest, guys, that is where I feel like the weight loss has happened. From September, I'm over it. I was over it. I was still going through a lot of stress, and I know the stress probably, I don't know if it helped or didn't help me, but I'm a very mentally strong person, and I do take pride in that because, again, like I've said, if I can't be healthy and happy for me, then I am no good to anybody else. Do you know what I mean? And I know that, and I really, really believe that in life, and you have to love yourself, every little piece of you. And I was not loving that I was a bigger girl. It's uncomfortable, but none of my clothes fit. And again, the biggest thing is I never seen myself like this. You have to envision and see who you are. That was never me. So why would I keep doing that to myself, right? If you don't see yourself like that, but every time you look in the physical mirror and you see you're seeing what you are, but that's not who you are. Why would you not want to make the changes to be the best version of you? The best version of me is a healthy version. That's not 40 pounds overweight. I should not be 180 pounds. That is way too big for me. I'm not saying I want to be like skinny. It's not about the number, because I actually want to even get a little bit more muscle mass and things. So I don't care of the number, but I care of how my body feels and looks. I run up the stairs. I always take the stairs when I go check the mail, unless I get a whole lot of packages and I'm taking them up. But most times I take the stairs. You know, every time I took the stairs prior to losing weight, it's like, I don't live up that many floors. Now I can just boop right up them. Like, my energy is so different. Like, I'm not as out of breath all the time. I feel healthier and happier. So I just want to let you all know that that is the whole mystery to my weight loss. To be honest, it's nothing more than that. I was just over it. And I know it sounds really weird and bad, because I always say I'm over stuff, but that's how I get it on in life. Like, if I say I'm over it, then I mean that I'm done with it. And you have to make those choices in life. And I just wanted to be done, and it wasn't for nothing. It was for nothing or nobody but me. And that's the truth. It was just for me. And I do owe you guys like the little bit of the explanation. I don't want anybody to worry, because I get it. When you see people lose weight, the automatic is like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you sick? I get that. So thank you so much for everybody and their concerns. I'm fine. My doctor says I'm fine, and I don't get sick. Power word. But yeah, I just was over it, and I hope that you guys are all okay and can accept that. And it's, again, I guess it doesn't matter if you accept it or not. It is what it is. I'm not a bigger girl, and I don't want to be a bigger girl. And if I do become bigger in the future, then I become bigger in the future. If I try to get smaller again, I try to get smaller again. I think go with the flow of life. If I choose, like, if it happens that way, then it happens that way, right? Whatever reason God has allowed me to slender myself back down to get to where I feel like myself again, and I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful that he has allowed me to envision myself and to see where I wanted to become. And still, I'm still growing. There's still so much more I want to do, even with my body, and that is nothing crazy. I just want to keep being healthy. So I'm hoping that I get little abs and I get little more muscle mass, and hopefully I get a little booty, and like, I want those things and I want to work towards those things. But I don't think there's anything wrong with me trying to better, like, myself. That's it. I gotta do me first, and then I can do for everybody else. And I've always said that, and I'm hoping anybody listening to this, that you do take care of yourself first before you think of anybody else, because I promise you can't do good for others if you're not doing good for yourself. It just doesn't work. You can't bring joy and happiness to others if you're not happy with yourself. And I just wasn't happy with myself. And everything last year just made it so clear that I have to put myself first before anything and anybody, because if not, just everything starts to crumble. And all the stress last year, I was just like, let's reevaluate and get back to who Crystal is, because that's where I messed. I hope if you're struggling with anything that you want to change for yourself, I didn't do that for anybody else. It wasn't, everybody in my life is perfectly fine with my weight. They don't care as long as I'm healthy and happy. They love me. But guys, if I'm not happy with myself, then I can't be the best of me, and nobody's going to want to be around me and enjoy me, because I'm going to be grumpy pants. And I don't like to be grumpy. I have such a good energy and a good vibe, and I'm a positive person of life. Like, don't let the world get to you. The world's freaking hard. The world is so hard. This is why it's so important to love yourself. Love you first. You have to love yourself. You have to love everything about yourself. I love myself. I really, really do. I can be with myself and be very content in my own head. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want that for every single one of you, because I promise you will be the best version of you for everybody else. And that's even for, like, your kids and, like, your partner. You have to put you first. You do. And I promise you, in the little bit of the long run, they'll see the joy that it brings you just to be happy with yourself, and then it automatic brings happiness to other people. Do you know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying I won't get stressed, and again, like, doing unhealthy stuff like eating crap and doing all that. Yes, of course that's going to happen again in the world of life, but I want to try to make conscious efforts of, like, making the right choices. I'm really trying to, I've said this before, when I hurt myself on my ankle, guys, I want to speak up more. I want to not allow the anxiety to push the things down. I want to be my full self, and I know me being myself is a bit more of an open person, and saying, no, I don't like that, that's weird. That's okay to do that, and I'm learning that it's okay, and I want to be that person. I'm pushing myself, because you have to push yourself. You have to do it for yourself. Nobody will do it for you. Nobody. I can't do it for you. Mama can't do it for you. Daddy can't do it for you. Your partner can't do it for you. That's the biggest one I want to tell you, all you women and men out there. Your partner cannot do that for you. You have to push yourself to be great. Period. Nope. You can't depend on them for motivation. You can't depend on your partner to, oh, I'll go to the gym when they go to the gym, or I'll eat what they eat. No, you can't. If you want to eat healthy, you make that for yourself. They want to eat that hamburger or whatever, make that for them. Choices, but you have to do it for yourself, guys, and that's it. I'm a very big on myself person, but I know, like, when I be these selfish ways, it's okay. It's okay to be selfish for yourself, because in the end, you're going to be great for everybody else. Do you know what I mean? And that's how I look at life. So I'm just doing me. I got back to me. I allowed life to distract me. And it will, of course, there'll be distractions. There'll be many things that'll happen in life. And you'll be here with me, and I'll show you. And I'll tell you guys what I can and let you know. But I hope this does clear up anything for anybody. And if you are struggling with something you want to change for yourself, whether it be creating your YouTube channel, or losing that little bit of weight, or just building a little bit of muscle mass, or whatever you want to do for you, do it, because it's about your happiness. Don't let nobody tell you, oh, you can't do that, or you shouldn't. You know how many people, when I tell them, oh, I do YouTube, I create nail content, they're like, okay, like, are you ever gonna, like, can you make money off that? Like, I don't make much money off of it now, no, but I don't care. I will eventually. It will sustain me. I know that. I went into this as a business. And the reason I've always looked at it as a business, because I wanted to thrive and strive. any hobby that you take on, if you take this on as a hobby, you'll never succeed. It's too much work. Hobbies ain't supposed to be that much work. Do you understand? YouTube is so much work, guys. It is so much work. But anything worth doing is so much work. I'm learning a million new skills. Videography, photography, you know what I mean? Content creating, like all these things. I have to talk to cameras. Like it's so much. Don't let nobody tell you can't do it. I'm doing it. And if I can do it, you can do it. I'm just a small girl from Canada, Ontario, small country girl. I said, no, I don't want to be in the country. I'm moving to the city. Toronto is our biggest city. I'm telling you, when you want to take leaps in life, take your leaps. Because only you can do that for yourself. And then you'll be able to get where you want to go. I love where I'm growing. I love where I am. I'm so grateful for every single one of you guys. Like, who would have thunk? Just over 2 years, I have just over 4,000 subscribers to my channel. I have almost 800 members in my group. My channel itself has over 500,000 views. Like, in 2 years, I'm over 500,000 views. Like, what the bejesus? That's so amazing. Thank you guys so much. But my point of it is, if I can do it, you can do it. Because I have no background. I have no background in it. But one thing I am and will always be is true to myself. You have to be true to yourself. Don't change you. Your character. You can change your physical, you can change all that for the better for yourself anytime you want. Change your hair, change whatever. Keep your true self, keep your character, who you are. And I've never changed that, and I won't change that because I ain't fake, I'm real. Real respect real. Like, it just is what it is. But I love you guys so much. I'm signing off now because we've been here way too long. Hopefully I can edit it down and not be too crazy. I'm sorry that it took me so long to come out with this little update video, but more and more I've been thinking about it. I don't want to associate it with a nail related video because it's just, let's keep our nail stuff with our nail stuff. I don't want to talk organization and be like a great organized video, then I mess it up with all this crap. So there you go. If you're curious about me and my life update and where I am and who I am and how I've been, that's it. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.